Come into a seated position. So you've got a folded blanket that you can fold. So this is like a standard fold. You can fold it in half again or in thirds for a little extra height. And that's just going to give you a nice little tilt of the pelvis. So try to sit right forward on the front edge of your blanket. So you've got that nice tilt. If you could have your right shin in front of your left. So just switch around. Yep. Just so we're all on the same page. And taking a few breaths here, breathing in and out in a nice upright position. So technically, this is the best position for breathing, for pranayama. Feeling that sense of a gentle push down into the sit bone. So that's going to be a theme for today. Because when we push a little down, we get a nice little lift up. And that's the nice lift and length through the chest, maybe the back of the neck, and potentially up through the crown of the head. So by instead of just focusing on trying to get your back straight, think of just gently pushing down, and then you get a nice little lift. Breathing in and out, taking a few breaths, relax your neck and shoulders and a soft belly, feeling the breath enter the nostrils, the top of the breathing vessel, and filling the belly. As you inhale, the belly inflates, and as you exhale, the belly deflates. Just to get started, because it's it's that time of year where it's starting to get warmer, but it's not quite warm. And actually, when you get out in the wind, it's freezing. And that's the time of year that these problems sometimes occur in the body, more so even than winter. We'll just do a big breath in just to warm ourselves up, a Bastrika. So breathing in, reaching up, spreading the fingers and thumbs. Breathing out and gently pulling the fists back to the shoulders. Try to keep the belly relatively still in this one, and think about trying to use this upper torso area of the rib cage, and not just the front of the chest, but the sides to the armpits and the upper back. So trying to inflate and deflate this tight area as best as you can, but be really gentle and deliberate. See if you can just do 5 or 10 through the nose only. And relaxing your hands down on your lap once you're done. So you can feel that warmth emanating from somewhere within. And so when we go to a big breath like that, that's the most yang breath we can do in yoga, such a strong, warming breath. We want to then be able to just relax into that still place again, that still and silent place within. That means we're relinquishing control of the breath, returning to just a natural breathing rhythm. Soft belly, relaxed neck and shoulders, soft jaw, tongue, and lips, and letting the air gradually become more and more subtle, wafting in and out of the nostrils. Try to anchor your thoughts onto the sensation of air wafting in and out of the nose. From here, we can take your right leg, so I'm mirroring you, your right leg behind the left foot. So you're like this, so I'm mirroring you. Then hold on to the knees. And now you're feeling a little like you're going to fall off to your left. So the leg, because of the leg position. So try to, from at least the waist up, feel like you're relatively upright. Relax your neck and shoulders. Take a few breaths here, breathing in, breathing out. And then we're just going to play around with the shoulders and the side lengths of the body from the hips to the armpits. So as you breathe in, we're in center. As you breathe out, let's tilt to your right. So lift your left shoulder, lower your right shoulder, just as far as is comfortable. Then breathe in back to center and breathe out, do the opposite. Lift your right shoulder, lower your left shoulder. And just noticing the sensations present as you breathe in back to center and breathe out. And just continue that at your own pace, ideally, using your exhale to tilt off to the side and your inhale each time you return to center. If anything's sore or painful, just do it more gently. Just trying to get a little bit of space on each side of the spine, but also each side of the torso, gently. As we move into spring, the side seams of the body become really important. That gallbladder meridian running down the sides of the body. It's the yang counterpart to the liver that relates to spring and the wood element. And then when you've had enough of that, just coming back to stillness, taking a few breaths there. So again, moving from voluntary breathing, now back, returning to involuntary breathing. Soft belly. The breath can only really settle down when the body can settle, when the body settles down. So take that same leg you moved, your right leg, back closer to the left leg, just by resting your right shin on the left arch. And then we can take your right hand, I'm still mirroring you, across onto the left thigh. So we're in a twist, Bharadvadrasana. So we want to use the back of your right hand onto the outside or the top front of the left thigh. And we're pushing back. So we're gently pulling your right shoulder around to your left. Then take the back of your left hand around the lower back to your right waist. So we're pulling your back shoulder, your left shoulder back. So your front right shoulder moves forward or to the left. Your back left shoulder moves back or to the right. And now initially we're going to also turn and look over your left shoulder. Notice the breath moving through the soft belly as you breathe in, the soft belly inflates. As you breathe out, the soft belly deflates, and it gives you a little bit of more of a core connection, potentially giving you slightly more space to twist a little more deeply to your left. On your exhalation, as your belly shrinks, maybe taking that opportunity to tilt or twist, slightly further to your left. Only if you've got the room. Then keep your body turning to your left in the same way, breathing in and out in the same way, but then slowly turning your face back to look over your right shoulder. Bharadvadrasana, female sage twist. Twisting out with your body to your left and turning your face gently to the right. Take a few breaths there. Then release. Then take your top leg back so that it was in that same position as before. Take your block and place it in front of your left knee. And that's going to be there for us in a moment. So I'm still mirroring you, your left knee, just in line with your left thigh. Now, your body still wants to fall off to your left. So firstly, we're going to hold on to the knee. And if the minimum, we're going to try and imagine a line between our knees right up at the front, and we're going to try and lean forward. We're going to end up with our forehead on that block. But to start with, we want to just try to reset the legs slightly to help us feel a little bit more centered. So leaning forward, if anything, you could even swoop slightly out to your right by pushing into your left knee, just gently, and leaning this way, away from the block, and slowly still hinging forward and gradually coming back through center, and gradually, slowly, as you hinge forward, come down and over that left thigh. So we're approaching it from the inside or the midline, and then adjust your block. You can have it on small or medium, whatever suits you, and resting your forehead down. Now, because of our positioning of the legs, we're going to feel more tension potentially on your left side, your left neck and shoulder, your left arm, your left hip and leg. So firstly, just trying to just settle into this shape. Think about all four limbs, trying to soften each of the four limbs with each exhalation. Feeling the soft belly trying to inflate and deflate against your left thigh. And particularly noticing that extra little bit of effort that your left-sided limbs are engaging in, because they're trying to stop you from collapsing off to the left. So particularly relaxing that left arm, you could lift the elbows and just take them a little wider if possible. Try to relax your left leg, your left hip and groin, your left buttock. Taking a few breaths there, relaxing your neck and shoulders as much as you can. Relaxing your hips and legs as much as you can, particularly on your left side. With each exhalation, the exhalation is what gives you the space and the room to relax. There's no relaxation button on our back that we can just press and instantly relax. It's the relaxation, just like building strength, is a process that we can cultivate via connecting with the breath, yielding the body, not forcing the body into relaxation, just letting the body gradually relax with each breath out. Slackening your jaw and softening your tongue, jaw and lips, just for these last moments here. Checking in with your four limbs, particularly those two on the left side, making sure they're not still trying to help you or get involved in supporting you. They can still support you, but just a little bit less with each breath out. And from here, slowly coming up. You can just use your fingertips on your left thigh and just leaning back away from your left thigh, maybe towards the right foot, just a tiny little tilt. Take a few breaths there. You might feel this one in your right hip or your the inside arch of your right foot, depending on your body. Breathing softly. Then you can touch the floor, raising your left arm and feeling that extra length now through the left side of your torso, bending your elbows, support your head, and then with your left fingertips just pointing down towards that right foot and just leaning again, just more of a tilt back, just a slight tilt, and you'll feel that lengthen up through that elbow, through that whole left side. If it's sore anywhere, don't tilt so far. Just be gentle. Listen to your body. And the last tip I'll give you is that idea of gently pushing down into the sit bones. And that gives you an automatic lift, particularly up into that left elbow, because that's sort of the highest point in our body at the moment. And then leaning back or towards that right foot from there, breathing calmly. If you're not breathing calmly, then potentially you're straining a little too strong. So just pull back a little until your breath feels comfortable, just to settle down into a gentle rhythm. And then release. From here, placing your hands on the legs and just gently, like we did at the beginning when we were lifting and lowering, now we're just going to twist back and forth. So it's not a twist. You're not trying to wrench yourself around to the maximum twist. You're just almost just gently cajoling the spine in a little rotation. Just gently breathing in as you come to center, breathing out as you twist out, just softly and slowly. Nice and slow. And then relative to your normal speed, see if you can slow it down a little more with each exhale. Just noticing all the sensations in the body that you're starting to feel, having your legs in this sort of asymmetrical position. And then back to neutral. Take a big breath in through the nose, soft belly. Fill the lungs right up to the collarbones. Keep your chin close to the throat. Pause briefly and then letting the breath out of the nostrils and imagining the breath leaving the body from the collarbones right down into the base of the breathing vessel, your pelvic floor. Those muscles of forced abdominal exhalation, that girdle of musculature switches on gradually as you come to the end of each breath out. Let's do that once more. Breathing in through the nose. Soft belly inflates first, then keep inhaling to fill the breath right up to the collarbones. Then you could draw the chin back, just pause the breath in briefly, then release the chin, Jalandhara Bandha, then breathing out through the nose and imagining the breath leaving from the top down to the base of the breathing vessel and being aware of that gentle engagement of those deep core muscles as you come to the end of the exhale, and then relaxing, carefully coming out. And be careful with that hip because I can certainly feel mine. Briefly just come back into your cross leg position with your right shin in front. So I'm still mirroring you. Let's do a Kapalabhati. So shining skull clears the third eye. So our sort of our heart mind, our intuitive mind, but also for the purposes of today, really stokes that digestive fire, which is great in winter. So if you want, you can come into Surya Mudra. So pin the ring fingers down into the base of the thumb with the thumb. So the ring fingers come down into the base of the thumb, and then you pin your thumb down on top. Yeah. And then you can turn the palms up, straight arms. So Kapalabhati is the forced exhale. That's the, and that automatically vacuums the belly in. Then all we do is relax the belly, and that automatically vacuums a little bit of air in for the next bit. So it's a and so on. Let's do aim for 20 to 30, and then just stopping and relaxing when you're finished. When you're ready, take a half lung full of air, and then begin. And on the last one, give it a good, more precise, maybe it feels like in slow motion, and really feel that belly slowly shrinking, that connection to the pelvic floor, those muscles of forced abdominal exhalation slowly engaging as you come to the end of that longer breath out, and then relaxing. Gentle. Everything's very gentle. Just a hint that those muscles are awake is all you really need. And then relax. Relax your belly. Relax your neck and shoulders. Relax your tongue, jaw, and lips. And soften your face. Let your breath return to its own natural rhythm, the involuntary rhythm. And from here, we can switch our legs around. So bring your left shin in front. So I'm still going to mirror you. And from here, we'll just do a balloon breath. So soft belly, breathe in through the nose. Let the soft belly inflate first. Then imagine the breath like a kind of a bucket fills from the soft belly or the base of the breathing vessel right up to the collarbones. Then pause. Then take an extra little sniff of air in through the nose. And then, like you were letting go of a balloon, let the breath just waft out of the nostrils. Don't force it out, just let it escape in its own pace. Imagine the breath leaving the body from the nostrils down into the pelvic floor with absolutely no effort on your behalf whatsoever. And let it take as long as it needs to, especially those last moments where you're feeling kind of empty, but there's no real need to breathe in yet until you're ready to breathe in. Then, of course, let's do another round breathing in. Soft belly inflates. Keep inhaling so that that whole torso feels like it's filling up right to the brim, to the collarbones. Pause. Then take an extra little sip of air in through the nose. And then, like you were letting go of a balloon, let the breath just waft out of the nostrils and imagine the breathing vessel slowly deflating all the way back down into the base of the breathing vessel, the pelvic floor. And then, when you're ready, breathing in again, soft belly, inhale, slowly feel the belly inflate, then keep inhaling to feel the whole torso inflating right up to the collarbones. Then pause, then take an extra little sip of air in so you're really full. And then, like you were letting go of a balloon, imagine that air just wafting out of the nose at its own pace, no force, no effort, and letting that take as long as it needs to, imagining the emptiness reducing down into the pelvic floor at the end of that exhale. And then soften your belly. When you're ready, returning to the involuntary rhythm, just letting the breath float in and out of the nostrils with a soft belly. And you'll start noticing that as you're using those deep core muscles, the belly finds it hard to relax, or even harder than it was when you first started, because it's being sucked in, it's working in its capacity as your sort of a breath partner. But then, just as important as it being switched on is it being able to relax. When you're ready, taking your front leg, so your left leg behind your right foot, so I'm still mirroring you, and taking a few breaths here. And we're going to do that same tilt, that lift and lower of the shoulders. Remember, your central point is your inhale. Then as you exhale, lift your right shoulder, lower your left shoulder. And just do it as far as you feel comfortable. If you go too far and you feel pain somewhere, just pull back a little. Inhale to center, exhale, switch sides. Your left shoulder lifts, your right shoulder lowers. Same thing, be gentle. And you might find you get a little more movement as you breathe in, breathe out, and gently switch left and right over a number of rounds. Use your exhale to yield into the side that you're tilting towards. The exhale gives you the space and the room to move. That's it. Gently cajoling the spine laterally. Not just the spine, but the rib cage, the whole torso, the waists. Inhale each time you come to center. Exhale each time you tilt out, lifting and lowering the opposite elbows. Let's just do one more on each side. And then when you're done, coming back. So I used to give a number, do 10 or do 5, but in the end, it's about just spending a few minutes doing something. Some people can do 10 in 0.07 seconds. Some people take 20 or 30 seconds. So it's more about finding your speed, trying to slow it down, and just doing a few just to get your body moving. So from here, we're going to think about your right knee. So place the block into the right foot. We'll leave it there for now. Let's do the twist first. So bring your left leg on top of your right arch. And then take your left hand onto the outside of the right thigh and push back onto your thigh. That's going to pull your left shoulder forward or to your right. Then take the back of your right hand and slide it across the lower back to the left waist. Give me a little wave. And then that's pulling your back shoulder, your right shoulder back or to the left. So you've got one shoulder, your front shoulder moving forward, and the other shoulder, your back shoulder moving back. And initially look over your right shoulder. Take a few breaths there, feeling the belly inflate and deflate. Notice as your belly deflates, as you exhale, you've got a bit more core connection and more room potentially to twist a little deeper, or at least hold the twist, the gentle twist that you've achieved. Keep that tension, that twisting, gentle twisting tension in your body as you keep breathing in and out through the nose, and slowly float the face back around to look over the opposite shoulder, your left shoulder. Twisting your body out to your right, turning your face to the left as I'm mirroring you. Breathing in, breathing out, Bharadvajasana, female sage twist. And then slowly release. Take your top leg, your left leg back to where it was so that the right foot is connecting to the left thigh. Have your block there in line with your right thigh. We're going to end up there, but because you've got your legs out to your left, we want to fall this way. So we want to try and counterbalance that and just check in what's going on with the limbs. If anything, we want to come directly forward, but we could even swoop slightly away from the block, so to your left, by pushing gently into your right thigh. But you're leaning, you're tilting, and you're hinging from the hips, so belly first, chest second, face last. Slowly, obviously going to feel this leg, your right leg, as you hinge down. And then, of course, when you need to, your body will tell you when you're going to swoop slowly over onto your right thigh. Pick a height for the block, small or medium, whichever suits you. Technically, I could use small, but see how there's a bit of a cliff at the top of my back where my neck tilts down? So that's fine, but if I was to walk around like this, that wouldn't be great, would it? And we're all a bit like this these days. So at the same time, you don't necessarily want to be over supported, but generally speaking, that's what the block's for, just to keep your neck feeling like it's in line with the rest of the spine, because we've got a huge, much more amount of flexibility in the neck. So we just need to be careful that we don't sort of neglect it or abuse that flexibility. Then thinking about relaxing through the four limbs, soft belly, both arms, of course, relax, but particularly those limbs on this side, your right side, lifting the elbows and replacing them down, relaxing deeply through that right hip, the buttock and groin, the right leg in general, relaxing the whole body into this shape, and relaxing then once your body's relaxed or relaxing, your breath can also relax in this shape. So just taking a moment to really soften through the neck, let the heavy head melt into the block, soften the face, and just let the breath waft in and out of the nose. With each exhalation, relaxing through your body a little more. Just even if it's a tiny little amount, there's always somewhere else in the body where you can soften slightly with each breath out. Then from here, slowly coming up and just very casually, just tilting slightly back to your left foot, the foot behind you, just a little tilt. You might feel that in your left hip socket or groin. Just take a few breaths there. Then relax, and you can raise your right arm and feel that relative length now through the right side of your body, and bend the elbow and support your head so your neck isn't in trouble, and tilt then again out to that back foot or your left foot, feeling that extra bit of length through the whole right side of your body, from the hip through the waist, the side ribs, the armpit, the triceps to the elbow. Now, the extra little tip was that little push down into the feet, into the sit bones, and that automatically gives you an extra little lift. As you push down, you get a little free complementary lift up. And in this case, particularly up into that right elbow of yours. And then if you wanted to add a little tilt to accentuate that length, you can do so, still pushing down into the sit bones. Breathing. Then release. And then just doing a little kind of robot arms, not to twist per se, but just to get a slight gentle rotation through the spine. Breathing into center, breathing out as you twist slightly out to the side. Into center and out to the side. And then back to center, breathing in, breathing out. And let's do some breaths just to finish up. So once you're back in center, gentle push down through the sit bones, breathing in, soft belly inflates. Keep inhaling to fill the whole breathing vessel right up to the collarbones. Draw the chin back, double chin. And then Jalandhara Bandha, release, and breathing out. And imagining the breath returning back down into the base of the breathing vessel, feeling that musculature, the muscles of forced abdominal exhalation, gently switching on as you come to the end of the breath. That means your belly gets squeezed in just by the action of exhale. Then again, breathing in, soft belly inflates. Keep inhaling to draw the breath right up to the collarbones. Then draw your chin back. Briefly releasing and then breathing out through the nose, imagining or feeling that breath leaving the nostrils as you imagine the breath retreating, emptying all the way down into the base of the pelvic floor. And then last one, soft belly, breathing in, inflates, keep inhaling, drawing the breath up to the collarbones, draw the chin back, Jalandhara Bandha, release the chin, and breathing out, feeling the breath or imagining the breath leaving like a bucket, emptying back down into the pelvic floor. And then from here, just come back briefly into a cross leg if you can. You can extend a sore knee out if you need to. We're coming up, we're going to stretch the legs out in a moment. And just taking one moment here just to relax into the natural breathing rhythm. Push down through the sit bones. And you've got that central channel that feels slightly engaged. There's a little, as you push down into the sit bones, there's a nice little lift through the sternum. You could lengthen the back of the neck and feel that length lifting up through the crown of the head. But the outside edges of the body, the jaw, the shoulders, and even the hips and groins can all soften. So you've got that central channel that's engaged, gently engaged, to keep you feeling light and lifted, but then the outside edges of the body softening and relaxing. So it's a combination of effort and relaxation to sit up comfortably. Soft belly and just letting the breath waft in and out of the nose.